Hello and welcome. This is the Star Wars Marathon for Real 90. My name is Eric Hunter.
I am Nick Prince.
And I'm Ricky Galore.
And happy May the 4th to you. We decided to do something a little different. Usually we do an audio podcast. This time we're actually going to do a movie cast. We're going to watch the entire marathon of Star Wars from 1 to 6. We've got, what, 16 hours?
17 hours.
17 hours.
17. And it's now 10 a.m.
We're going to watch Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
It was released 1999, 20th Century Fox, written and directed by George Lucas. The first Star Wars movie to happen since Return of the Jedi that came out in 1983.
All right.
So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into it. And we thank you for joining us, and happy May the 4th.
Happy May the 4th. See you in 2.5 hours.
It's not that long, is it?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
So that right off the bat in theaters. I mean, just the Lucas symbol, the green, because I hadn't been seen in so many years.
Yeah.
Everyone
Huge
was
applause,
nuts. Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then as this started, everyone's like, yeah!
Yeah.
But you can even tell the audience, this was the first moment in the audience seeing the movie when people were like, oh, when they started reading this, and they're like, what are they talking about? The first one's like, Galactic, the Empire is in turmoil, blah, 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 there's war, and this side's fighting this side. Very cut and dry, plain and simple.
Right.
This is like, hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, greedy trade federation. Like, what the hell is a trade federation? Oh, sweet, a movie about taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. They're robots. Why do they have...
Yeah, shouldn't they just, like
why would
programmed
they
in their head? Like, they shouldn't even talk.
Well, no, it's not even that. Like, why would they have fractions? Why would there be a leader amongst robots?
Right. I will say, I think that is probably one of the coolest scenes, is him using his lightsaber to cut through a door.
Yeah.
Because in all the original three,
Never did.
they never used their
always
So
lightsaber.
I
provided.
wonder, what can it do?
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
was like, why don't they, like,
Well, the
cut
reason,
something with it?
One robot running.
well, the reason being was because it was considered sacred for defense.
Yeah,
Right.
and yet they use them like every scene in this movie. Well, so that brings up the question is, they use the Force so freely in this because it still exists and they're trained with it and stuff. Why do they have to even use their lightsabers? And like showed later, like they basically throw their Force hand and the robots explode.
Right.
They've gone up the ventilation shaft.
I always kind of thought that, like, using the Force, you kind of, like, it wears you out a little bit. So if you constantly were using it nonstop,
Yeah,
like,
it would.
you get pretty tired, really.
Well,
so they, like, pick and
I
choose
thought
when
that-
they're going to use
I
it.
thought that too, though, with Luke, and it's because he's young and he doesn't know how to.
Right, you see him, like, really straining.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to harness it yet. But these guys use it like meh,
Right.
meh.
Maybe it's an adrenaline thing too. You have to be in the moment to really own it.
Right. You can't just be sitting
Well,
there.
maybe you use the fear. You
Right.
take it and you displace it to it. Star Wars, you love the sitting around and talking.
Which I'm fine with. If it's
everybody's
worth
favorite.
Yeah,
listening
because there's
to.
less special effects.
Well, no, if it's interesting to listen to,
If it's like Aaron Sorkin dialogue, where it's just like,
yeah.
but
Well,
it's
I'm
not,
thinking
it's
of I'm thinking of when they were talking okay, in Lord of the Rings.
well, that's what I was gonna say, the table scene.
Like that's an amazing scene, you know, because the personalities are so widely different. And,
We know nothing that's going on.
no, I know, but
The only people that we kind of know what's going on is like, okay, those guys are Jedis because they said they're Jedis and they have lightsabers.
yeah, we know the guy in the black hood's the bad guy because he's the one wants to
Emperor.
kill them. Yeah. Jar Jar Binks, in a nutshell. Just because you can speak doesn't mean you're smart. So you're sitting there, and it's been 10 years since the last Star Wars movie. It's still wildly popular. You have more story that you want to tell. I mean, who wouldn't go back and make these movies? Any of us. Regardless if it's for money or not.
Right.
I mean, if it's still wildly popular and people still want more, you have to create content.
Well, and the biggest fault with the movies, besides just being bad storytelling, is we know everything that happens.
No, I know.
Like that's what sucks about mythology is.
Well, and the problem is when you watch these prequels, you're trying to find something new that wasn't talked about in the originals, and there's nothing.
And that's why I love Qui-Gon Jinn.
Right. Well, yeah, but there's nothing other than him, really, and Darth Maul. There's nothing really wildly important to see.
We know those characters don't last to the new movies, so we kind of want to be on their journey and see what happens to them. Because we know there's 3 movies, so how are they going to play within the 3 movies?
Right.
But what does he do? Gets rid of the 2 original interesting things.
Yeah. And keeps Jar Jar Binks.
It keeps Jar Jar Binks, but in like the background.
Yeah, like was what he should have been ever the whole time.
I mean, if you really wanted to shock me, he would have killed Jar Jar Binks at the end of this movie, and people would have had a different reaction.
Yeah.
People would have been like, he was annoying, but I can't believe he killed the fun-loving character.
I mean, you got to give it to Ewan McGregor and Liam Neeson. They had to sit there and stare at nothing and act.
No, that's true.
I mean,
All right, now these 2 imaginary characters are talking. I need you to react.
all right, what are they saying? I haven't written it yet.
I haven't written it yet.
Just
How does he not have a rear view mirror? You know what I mean? Like, how can he not look behind him?
Well, how can he not feel it in a disturbance in the Force? Isn't it like Spidey sense?
I will say this. They do a pretty good job about making Natalie Portman look very young. Okay? But in this movie. But in the next movie,
Yeah.
she looks identical, and he's 5 feet taller. Like, it doesn't make any
oh, I had a
sense.
growth spurt.
So that line of dialogue states that even the most crummiest of the crumb know who Jedis are. And know that they're the Force and all that stuff. And that's interesting.
So there must be quite a lot of them then, just because they're known throughout the whole galaxy.
Just because there's a council doesn't mean that's all there is.
No,
Right,
I know,
no,
but
I agree with you.
Nick was trying to say that just from what we've seen so
They've
far.
been around a long time. No matter
Right.
what planet you're on, Jedi are in it.
Yeah, so it's either there's a lot of Jedi, or they're way overpowered considering everybody else.
Yeah. Or they're just spread so thin throughout the galaxy. I mean, this could just be one of, you know,
Well, it's Coruscant.
100 stories going on in this world, and this is just the most interesting, I guess, which is sad. Did you see the thing he was talking on? Did you ever see that? It's a woman's razor.
Really?
Yeah, it's like if you ever see it, it's like really wide.
Like
It has
a
like
Norelco?
gel grip on it. Yeah, and then a wide blade, so they just use that as the body and like added some more crap to it. It's a woman. It's like a woman's like a leg razor.
I was getting ready to say rewind it so I could see it, but I don't want to do
Yeah.
that.
I mean, looking at it, you can't be like, oh, that's a razor.
Well, he uses it again
Yeah,
when he's talking to them.
like they literally just like spray painted it black, and it's like this weird creature has like polio or something, and he can't use his legs.
I think we need to look at the credits. Oh, polio character.
You didn't even pay for it.
Anakin wearing an under Jedi outfit?
Do what now?
Why is Anakin wearing the under Jedi outfit?
The under
What do you
Jedi.
mean?
Like,
A robe?
So you see the but you see the robe, like the brown robe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's wearing what they wear underneath their robes already.
No, okay, and I've thought about that, and my thought process is they live by the least expensive needs necessary. They get just what they need, not what they want.
Anakin's poor.
And it's a way of passage.
Okay.
Does Vader ever see C-3PO?
No,
He never
well
interacts
he
with
does, but okay. So, and this is it's a graphic novel. Can't remember what it's
But
called.
in the movies, he never.
Not in the movies. No,
Yeah,
there's
okay.
no real interaction. But there's a graphic novel that takes place between Empire and Returns, and it's one of the scenes is when they find C-3PO and he's in pieces.
Yeah.
Darth Vader picks him up, picks his head up, and he's looking at him, and there's this big flashback of him hanging out with him when he was a kid and shit. It's really cool, and they're like, "Sir,
Oh, yeah.
sir," and he's like, "Dispose of this." And like it's really neat.
But see, that's the interesting story. Is like Qui-Gon being an unsavory Jedi. How great would it have been if like Qui-Gon would have started training Anakin and been like, sometimes I use my fear, sometimes I use my anger, and it makes me stronger. And you're like,
To kind of kickstart it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't even know who Yoda is right now. Right?
Master Yoda.
Right.
Yeah, they just said it.
Well, they say Master Yoda.
Yeah, but we don't know who he is.
We don't
That's
know
the
that he's
first
the
time they've ever
all-powerful
mentioned
Jedi that,
Yeah,
like...
so I'm the first time seeing this movie, never seen the other one. You got a master? Are they slaves?
Yeah, what? Master what? Okay.
I still really enjoy the pod roads.
I had the Legos
Oh, yeah.
where you could build the pod.
The video game's a blast because it's the dual. Man, it's so much fun.
Oh, that is, yeah, the arcade, that's a lot of fun.
And one of the neat things about, because they released it for the N64, you plug in 2 controllers and you use both control
both
sticks
joysticks.
to do the exact same thing in the arcade.
That's cool.
Man, it's a blast. Well, of course you win. You're the only one left. Everybody else blew up.
Fans always wondered, what does this little green guy look like with a lightsaber? I was like, I've never wondered that.
I've never wanted that either.
I've always looked at Yoda as
They
like, he
always
doesn't
said-
need one, he's so powerful, he doesn't need to.
Well, here's the thing that I
fight
always
with a
thought,
lightsaber.
because they always talk, that Yoda was the greatest warrior or whatever. I never thought they meant physically. I thought they meant like strategically.
Right.
Like that's what I always thought.
He's
just
Mr.
he's a
Miyagi.
mastermind. Yeah.
He's Miyagi, he fights with his words and his knowledge.
He can use the Force if he needs to.
Yeah, but it's a
But
last
that's
resort.
it, Yeah.
Yeah.
God, we're an hour and a half into this movie. We still have like
Another
It's
hour.
almost over.
So
another hour.
Well,
we
past
haven't
the
even
halfway
begun
point.
to get to the battle stuff yet. This fucking shit drives me insane.
What?
Just the
The
thought.
Congress?
The thought process that this would work, that this many acting bodies from so many different parts of the universe could sit down and talk. That boggles my fucking mind. Because in reality, we can't get 90 people in a fucking room who are in the same goddamn country to sit down and talk.
I hate to
Am I right? Am I right?
Stop it.
Am I right? Oh god, he's dead. We killed him! Nick is dead!
Another one. Bring out our other actor. We have a guy on
Bring
standby.
out, bring out Nick 2.0. And that's the biggest issue with all of these movies, is he's banking on the fact you've seen the originals.
But what that does is you're like, yeah, I know.
Well, he takes too much for granted, is the
Yeah.
problem. And you can see as you're watching the movie that he's constantly struggling with himself, because he'll let himself go, and he's like, well, yeah, they're on here, I didn't stand this. And they'll be like, oh, wait, maybe I should describe this a little bit more. And then it's like, wait, like, make your mind up. Are you going to bank on the fact that everybody's seen the originals, or do you need to explain everything,
But then doesn't explain things that need explaining. and
Well,
then
just whether we saw the original or not, he should
made a good
don't use
movie.
that. Just go.
No, I agree.
Explain.
I agree with you.
So here's my thing though too is, but I mean it's obviously the movie wasn't made and the story wasn't written. Is you can go out in the streets right now and see a '70s car. You can see a Trans Am.
Yeah.
You can see cars from the '60s out, still in commission. Not
Right.
a lot, but still one every now and then. In the original
You never
movies,
see
you
it,
see
yeah.
never any
I'm
of
with
these
you.
ships appear. Not even one. And who would have a ship like that? Han should have had a silver ship like that because he's a collector, or he would be the guy that has
Or
like a muscle car.
Yeah,
right
or
now.
somebody he knows or that he
Yeah.
comes in contact with that we would have seen.
At Cloud City.
Lando probably would have
Like
had
Jay
one.
Leno has a bunch of old cars and motorcycles.
Yeah.
Lando at Cloud City would have a garage. and like,
garage full of
yeah, here's
Right.
my Naboo fighter
Yeah.
that I got at a
And they're all,
auction.
and all of them are rolling on dubs.
Yeah. They're
Giants.
all up on, no, they're sitting on cinder blocks,
Oh,
sitting out in his
Jesus.
yard.
It's awful.
You don't think like the X-wing should have came first,
No,
and they were
because,
like, let's
no,
do these?
because I'm going back to my original thought.
So,
was-
but here's the thing, what you just said about cars, both of you. We went from jagged, straight edges to rounded,
that's fine.
and that evolved. Why would they go from rounded to jagged, straight edges?
Okay, they didn't do it because they wanted to. They did it because they had to. Because they didn't have the resources that they did until...
Round things?
No, to square things.
Yeah,
That
you're
up.
smirking.
Well, they made the Death Stars round.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Well, no, but even the
it
Death
still
Star had
looks-
shit kind of...
Yeah. They had a license plate hanging off. See, you build up this whole debate,
no, I
and then
get-
I'm just like, what about the people who are running this shit?
No,
What
see,
about
I
the
didn't
money?
think of that
Yeah.
far ahead, okay?
I know you did.
My argument was still valid until you brought up the Empire. The Empire, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
get that bit.
Well, what they
Right.
did, if the Jedis are so smart, where would be the best place to fight Darth Maul with a double-ended lightsaber?
Or really tight hallway.
In a really tight hallway. Not a Jedi. thought of it.
Yeah, he is.
When it's 2 against 1, and you got a guy that's flipping around and stuff.
Corner
And there's 2 guys corner him
in.
into a small area.
Oh,
But on the hindsight of that, Darth Maul would be smart enough to not get into a hallway like that.
Right.
So
they
he's
don't-
going to keep them
they
from
don't
pushing
do
him in
that.
there.
Like, that's telling the story, and we get no story.
There's not a lot of tight hallways on opening ships. They're all very open. A lot of open.
Oh, by the way, Nick is totally a Jedi.
Yeah,
that's right.
Good job.
Are you a Jedi?
Stop it. Stop it.
Happens when you said bitch. Bitch.
We'll change it up, I don't think.
Yay, it's over.
Oh, God. Alright, so, just got done watching episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Just to remember, as I was saying, like when my family and I went, at the end of all the other Star Wars movies, you watch them, no matter how many times you've seen them, you're like, oh my God, they left me, I'm wanting more, I can't wait to see the next movie. All of us were just like, let's not talk about it.
And they had some big actors in this movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They just didn't get to act. They just had horrible dialogue. It was just it was more of a kids movie. It was very flashy. Like, look at these funny haha characters, and so people that grew up seeing the original 3, I mean, just watching that, it was just a cartoon to me.
You know me, I always try to find the good, and it's like, there was a lot of good, really great things in this movie, but like, it either felt like Lucas had forgotten about them when he started them in the beginning, or they would go so far and he'd completely cut it and just be like, okay, no, we can't do this anymore. So,
And he's just assuming that everybody saw the original 3, so he doesn't really have to do much character development. He doesn't have to explain a whole lot of scenes because he's like, oh, they know what.
And that is his
Republic
biggest mistake in this. And I mean, I'm going to say this through every one of the new trilogy. That is his biggest mistake, is assuming that the audiences watched 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
All right, so now it's time for episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Was released 3 years later, 2002. Ewan McGregor comes back, Natalie Portman comes back, and we are introduced to 2 new characters, or 2 new actors rather. Hayden Christensen and Christopher Lee as Count Dooku. Written and directed again by George Lucas. We are pretty much of the consensus that this is the worst of the prequels.
It is now 12:38.
Yep.
Let's get it started.
Left the coffee pot on.
Yeah.
Again, though, I'm sitting in the
See, you
theater.
smoke gas.
Don't worry about it.
Tabana gas?
Tabana gas.
Oh.
So you get an option, Eric. Blue chick or green chick. Basically look the same. Which one do you have sex with?
Green.
Because of Star Trek?
Yeah, exactly. Just because of Star Trek.
Hey, everybody.
Don't break the fourth wall. He looked at us.
I was still here.
So funny.
I'll get to the bottom of this plot quickly, Milady. You'll be back here in no time.
Good, because we're not getting to the plot anytime soon.
There's a plot in these movies?
Why does
Well, no.
Why does this cook know about a dart?
It's not even that. I like that he goes to this strange place that is completely out of the ordinary for the universe to find some very vital information from a guy that you know what I'm saying, that doesn't feel like he should know. That's great. Why is he a fucking alien? Why can't he just be a regular human being? You know what I mean?
Whoa, because
Yeah, that's
CG?
aliens.
Hello?
But you know what I'm saying though? Like this is the opposite of what George Lucas did with Jabba the Hutt. When he came up with Jabba the Hutt, it was a guy wearing a bearskin suit, like vest, because of the human interaction. Then he decided to do something later, which is whatever.
Well, and that's the one time, like with he said with the new movies, Oh My Vision, when he was making Star Wars, he said, you know what, we can't do yet what I want Jabba to be, so I won't have him.
Which is fine.
Yeah, and then he gave all the lines to Greedo in that scene. That's what sucks about the special edition. Is you have the same lines happening
Over and over
scene
again.
after scene.
But like this, it's like
Depends on what.
the reason I like this scene is because there's so much that we don't know.
Well,
that they have this amazing connection, like they fought for each other.
But we have to introduce this new character that we're supposed to care about, we don't care about, and he doesn't stay throughout the movie. This is the great time when you could have had that Lando kind of character.
Right.
And you keep him.
Yeah, we could hear all their inside jokes about stuff that they did, you know.
Tag and P.
Yes, I'm looking for a banking system called
Tag and pee though.
Like they're always
Oh,
tagging.
Okay.
You're right.
No, well, yeah, that's what I was like. What is tagging? I've never heard of that before. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I like scenes like that where you can really see the relationship in their bodies. You know, that they've known each other for so long. This still drives me insane. Why do these kids have these deadly weapons?
Tying into Star Wars on the Millennium Falcon. The same as Luke.
No, I know that, but look how
That's
young
why.
they are.
It doesn't really bug me that much. I mean, they're
You don't think it's out of place?
I'm sorry to disturb you, Master.
they're all learning to be Jedi's, and the weapon is their most powerful thing, the lightsaber.
what's
So
their-
why not start them young?
But what's their title?
They're all Padawans.
What is Anakin at 18 years old?
It's Padawan.
Padawan.
Yeah.
What was Obi-Wan in the last movie at 18 years old?
Okay,
When he
Padawan.
was
At what
30.
point do you not? At what point are you not a Padawan?
That's what I'm saying.
Welcome back to
They have all these flying spaceships, but they don't have wheels on luggage.
Or hovering luggage.
Hovering luggage, or
Yeah.
a droid, for God's sakes, carries the luggage.
Yo, I ain't carrying your luggage.
It's just like the Vogons from Hitchhiker's Guide. Like, they're not
Oh,
awful
hold on!
shooters.
It's a real place, an actual location they went to shoot.
And
Finally.
it's beautiful looking.
Yeah.
God, we're not even watching these movies, guys.
No,
Like,
I know,
just
because it's
fucking-
so bad. This is why.
Sorry.
Man, I wish they had a little costume.
A little Boba Fett costume. God, that'd be great. That would be fucking hilarious.
This looks like an amateur porn.
It does.
This scene.
No,
Like the
there's too much
lighting
talking.
and
There's too much talking.
Yeah, but still terrible dialogue.
Whoa, yeah.
I know I cannot do.
Dude, mainstream porn's got terrible
Believe me,
dialogue.
I wish that I could just wish away my.
Like, I'll eat cereal
Do you
at,
want
like,
to run somewhere after this one?
like 8 o'clock?
Or
No.
you just
No,
gonna
we
keep
need to
going?
do it in between the trilogies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Senator.
I like how we're like,
No,
no.
No.
Sorry, I'm
No.
need some water.
No.
No.
You want me to grab you some water?
Yeah, go
You
grab
want
me
me to grab
some
you
water.
some water? Stop it.
You still sitting bitch.
Yeah, he is.
I'd love
We'll
to.
switch it up. I'm alright.
No,
You keep on saying
we'll switch it up. It'll be like the end of the Return of the Jedi. All right, before Episode 7, we'll switch.
Oh.
Never been to this planet or this complex, but I know where all the elevators are and how to get back up.
No, I know. Well, there's signs. This way to
Need to get to the roof?
No,
Or
no,
use
no.
this elevator?
No, it says this way to Jango Fett. Better hurry
Well,
up.
that's a
He's getting ready
weird
to leave.
sign, but it's very useful at this moment.
Yeah. Coffee, you don't have to put anything in it.
fuck you.
Oh, okay.
Well, why did they let him go out so far? Oh, by the way.
Joke's on you.
By the way, get your ass back to the ship. You know what I mean? Like it was like a joke between, like, this is gonna be great. Yeah, R2, come on. You're a mile out. Oh, by the way, you need to go back to the ship.
You just said you didn't want to get.
Yeah.
What?
I don't want to give up
Inconsistency
on her. I'm
within
gonna
the
go find her.
scene.
You should probably just give up.
There hasn't been more than a page of
It's
dialogue.
been 30 seconds since you
Yeah.
just said you didn't want to go. Well, you've convinced me that she's probably dead.
This is straight up cartoons.
God, it
Yeah.
looks so bad.
Good, very good. Our friends from the Trade Federation have pledged us.
And I think one of the other reasons why it looks so bad is because you have people in suits compared to the CGI.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it looks even worse. It's because you actually have a reference.
Oh man, how about when they put Christopher Lee's head on the clearly stuntman's body when he's fighting Yoda and Anakin a little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
later?
Fucking Lucas.
To pee is to go to the bathroom.
Do you want to rewind it?
Come on, Nick.
Wow, why are you acting like that?
Could be the bitch.
Jeez Louise.
It's only the second movie. You can't be doing that.
Oh,
He's a smart guy, obviously.
did you ever watch the interview with him when he was on Jon Stewart's show?
Yeah.
Like, anytime anybody's like, well, look, this doesn't make any sense, but this going on, his response every time is, you should have been there when I wrote him.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I had you there when I wrote.
That's his response.
Yeah.
Like, because Jon Stewart was like, look, this doesn't make any sense. How did Darth Vader not know that Leia and Luke were his kids. Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know, like, because with the way it was set up and everything, and George Lucas is just nodding his head, and then Jon Stewart makes another good point, and he was like, yeah, you should have been there when I was writing.
I wish you were there when I wrote them.
Look at all these toys we can sell!
Man.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Kids will buy this for Christmas, they'll buy that for Christmas. We can just make this whole set.
Oh, look at that. He's going to go down like a bitch, just like Boba Fett did.
I wish.
No, he does.
Well, he gets his head cut off.
Well, I mean, well, yeah, but...
I wish he would have just gotten trampled. Why don't they do that to all of them?
Really? Like he's that surprised that he can do that?
Ooh, they do? Holy shit.
I didn't know
I'm a Jedi Master, I never moved anything.
Guys, if you do this...
Things will fall!
Huh? Whee! It looks like Flash Gordon.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I was like, where's his handicap sticker? He's doing like 5 miles an hour.
Go past me. Go
around.
around.
Here comes the light show. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, red. Yes, yes, yes. So much light. What's going on? Nobody knows. So much light. I probably would have been happier if this fight scene was just all force. Like, do the whole...
yeah.
Like they did in Harry Potter with him and Voldemort, with the wand and the energy. Like, I would have been happy with that. I was just going to say, she's been wearing this outfit for what? How long? Movie time.
A day?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay, 30 minutes.
30, 40 minutes.
And it seemed like... Yeah, it seemed like every time we got a shot of her, she lost more and more. Because, like, she had full midriff.
Yeah.
Or no midriff. And then... Like, as the scenes went on in the fighting, like, she lost a little bit more.
And like on her back where she got clawed by that beast thing.
Like,
There's
it's all
no
gone.
blood.
Yeah,
no, there's like no blood on it.
That was Lucas's way of hoping to retain the audience. Oh, you get to see Dooku with Darth Sidious.
Doo-doo with Darth Sidious.
Good one.
Alright.
So as we discussed before, coming from Phantom Menace, and then 3 years later, going into Episode 2, we're like, Episode 2's got to be better. He'll correct the mistakes he made.
Right.
He'll listen to the fans. Coming out of Episode 2, when I first saw it, and also now, I can't believe he put out a worse movie.
Well, it's like, I'm so... Like, this movie physically drains me. Because it's like, and it's kind of the same thing that went on at the very end of Phantom Menace. There's so much shit going on that, like, I can't wrap my head around what's really the most important.
Hayden Christensen was a god-off actor. Horrible.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not all his fault. It was probably the horrible directing that George Lucas did. I mean, he's just not a great director. He just had this not even a great vision, but a vision of just using all the special effects, and again, just trying to sell merchandise.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing that I'm constantly struggle with this movie, is not only is it a bad Star Wars movie, but as Ricky had said, it's just a bad movie overall.
Like, I always ask myself, like, why'd you even put any human actors in it? If you're gonna go so CG, just make the whole thing a cartoon. Like, don't even...
Well, yeah, because
that was the best part, is when they did the actual locations, when it's on Naboo and all that. Like, those actual locations look really cool.
Yeah, just as a movie by itself, like, there's just too many issues with it. Like, there are no dynamic characters.
Just horrible acting all around.
But he had so many opportunities to make dynamic characters and round characters, and he just didn't. Well, and I think another problem is this movie gives me... I'm so conflicted about who I'm supposed to like and who I'm supposed to hate.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, of course I like Obi and Anakin. And then Anakin slaughters all these people, and it's like, well, I don't really like him. Yeah. Am I supposed to like Count Dooku? Well, I'm not supposed to. Am I supposed to like, you know what I'm saying?
You don't like Mace Windu.
No.
He's weird.
Right. Yeah.
You start not to like Yoda, because you're wondering what he's doing, but like, he comes flying in with the clones. There's just a lot of unexplained stuff.
Okay. We're into Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Nick, give us some stats.
Revenge of the Sith came out 3 years later, 2005, starring the great Hayden Christensen.
Woo!
Natalie Portman. We have Ewan McGregor still, and Ian McDermott.
This one, the whole purpose of this movie is to make
link 'em.
Anakin
Right.
Darth Vader.
It was just the whole link.
Yeah.
As long as Luke and Leia are born, and Anakin becomes Vader.
Yeah.
Which they do go out of their way to screw up as much stuff as possible. She lost the will to live.
Oh, I know. War! What is it good for?
Twilight movies are better than these three movies.
I was getting
No,
ready to
they're
say
not.
it. I was like, I'd rather watch
I've
those
seen
three
2 of
than
them.
these.
No, man, I can't stand Twilight.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. What's her name?
Kristen Stewart.
Oh my
She's
god.
fucking awful.
Hayden Christensen Stewart.
They went to the same
I
acting
mean,
school.
she's pretty bad. She's one of the worst actresses.
That's what I don't understand. It's
They
like,
just
why?
like rip the cockpit open and kill him.
Yeah.
Why do they have to like? Sorry. Logic. How dare I?
Well, the thing I don't understand, because he's done it with all 3 of these movies. He's given all of these droids personalities. Who is going to relate to a droid? Why give them personality? Right. Well, you should. You're a Jedi.
R2, go back. I need you to stay with
No, you can't go,
God,
to,
poor
go back
R2,
to the
man.
ship.
Doesn't get anything. There's the razor.
Yeah. I needed another character I couldn't relate to. This is the best
That's
scene
because
in
they're the
trilogy.
2 best actors in this whole entire thing.
This is the best scene in the trilogy.
Do it.
Damn it.
We see a roller coaster of emotion from Palpatine, and then that. Just when I was in theaters, I think I verbally was like, "Oh shit!" but then I realized I was like, the movie can go nowhere from here.
He was too dangerous.
It's at the very beginning.
Yeah, like unless he becomes Darth Vader right now.
Yeah, and that was another thing too, is that you don't see Vader till the very, 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 very end of the movie. And it's like, come on, you're telling me we couldn't get a little Vader action for 30 minutes before the movie ended?
Oh wait, let me rephrase. You didn't just kill Count Dooku. Cut off both of his arms and
He was defenseless.
yeah.
And you cut his head off.
And
You scissor chopped his head off.
And you would think, okay, what came first? Did he chop his head off then his hands? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Did you cut off his hands and then his head? Because if that's true, why did you cut off his head?
Yeah, we're gonna kick you off the Jedi.
Yeah. See, like his acting in this scene.
No, I was
is not that
just
bad.
thinking
Yeah,
it's a lot better than it was in the other one.
Maybe because like the screen's covering half of his face, so you can't really see.
You just hear his
what
voice.
Right, we just hear his voice.
But it's still.
Well, yeah.
But in the other one, it was just him like on the verge of crying every time he talked.
No! No!
Guys, we're going to the Green Planet.
No!
No, we're going to the Green Planet.
No!
We're having Salisbury steak for dinner.
No! I want carrots!
Well, okay, we'll have carrots with it.
No, I want chicken now!
Okay, we'll have chicken, carrots, and Salisbury steak.
I don't want anything! I'm going to my room! Oh, where's Penis Head Guy at? Penis Planet!
It's Penis Planet!
Penis, I tell you! Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Take a seat.
A lot of Jedi died in the last movie. They're down to bare bones who could be in this council.
We have to fill the chairs. We bought them. We can't
We
let
can't
them
let
go to
these
waste.
chairs go to
Literally,
waste.
there's literally a douche sitting in one of the chairs. And they just turn over.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah. The douche is smoking.
What does Master Douche think?
This fucking thing drives me insane.
Yoshi?
Well, it's just the fucking
Right?
noise, man. Like, it's too much. Oh, hey, guys!
Bill,
Hello there.
mind if I drop in? Huh?
Human chest.
I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi.
Oh, really?
They did a ton of this on all these movies. Just long, dead spots in the movie where they're staring off and trying
Well,
to
that's when he printed off the script.
reflect on their decisions, and it's just
5
horrible.
of the pages were just blank when he printed off the script.
What is this? This
I don't know. We got 5 pages worth.
Hello, I asked you a question.
hold on, I'm acting.
Is that what you call it?
Acting.
Wait a second, is that what you call it?
And
Dramatic 10 from the dark.
Oh, good.
Good
for you.
What's happened?
Chance has been allowed.
Nothing. For 3 movies.
He's been right under our noses the whole time.
Shut up.
OMG.
I don't believe you.
Brenda, yes.
Listen to this, gossip.
Are you sitting down?
You should totally sit
Are you
down.
sitting down?
Sitting, get it? I made a joke. Anyway, Anakin, a Dark Lord or something.
A Dark Lord something or
Dark
other.
person, or I don't know what he is.
Like, you know that girl, Lord Royal? Yeah, he's Dark Lord. And
Become a very
Yeah.
great threat.
really? That's not the arrogance that the dark side has. Everybody thinks they're better than everybody else.
What are they doing?
I know!
What are you doing? Come on, man! What is this? What are they doing? All I see is hands. Fucking come on! There's special effects all over the scene. You can't give me a little spark or something? Fucking God! How do you feel now, Legless? A little bit further. Here we go.
Need aloe.
Oh man. No! No!
I'm sorry, your card's not accepted.
No!
I'm sorry, we don't take Discover.
No!
Oh, it's not raining outside, it's a little colder. It's...
No! If we would have. Okay, so Revenge of the Sith ends the trilogy of the prequels.
By the end of it, I think I was just glad that Lucas was done with this prequel trilogy.
This is the one that I was least looking forward to because I knew exactly how the movie was going to
You
go.
went in with low expectations.
I'm waiting for Darth Vader to appear the entire time, and it's the last 5 minutes of the movie, and that's it? Like, come on.
The
I don't think
pacing, the
acting was
pacing of
better.
the film, I think.
the pace was better. Which
Yes, the
makes
pacing
linger
is
less on
much
the bad
better.
acting.
Right, but I
Right.
think Hayden Christensen did a better job on this, but as we all know, it's easier to play a villain or an antagonist than it is to play a protagonist in any film, just because you get to kind of do whatever you want.
For the most
You
part.
can overact a little
Yeah,
bit
you can
more, it's
overact
okay.
and be a dark character, and you're kind of given the license to do that.
And we'll fix it in post. No big deal. We are super excited to start the original trilogy.
And we are watching the originals, not the
Yes,
crappy remakes.
we're not watching the special
re-releases,
editions. We are
yeah.
watching the theatrical releases.
So yeah, 5:32. We're gonna take a break, and we'll be back. We'll give you a time update, and we'll start Star Wars.
These first 6 hours have just been us screwing around.